What's going on, YouTube? Today's video is kind of a remake of my intro and going over my case and also doing a little house cleaning in here. So I hope you enjoy. Alright, so first we'll start down here on the bottom. Well, the case is a Cooler Master half 932. It's just an unbelievable case for cooling, things like that, and it's the HAF, which is high airflow case, and believe me, it definitely performs. Alright, so down here we have the CoolMax 1200 watt power supply. It's modular, so there's a lot less cables that get shown and things like that. It does have a bundle that is attached, but it's not that much stuff, and you can easily hide it. It's the only cable that is attached is for an added 4-pin Molex, so which I had to use to power plug it into the motherboard. So it's really not not that bad. Cable management is really awesome. There's tons of room behind the motherboard tray, so a lot of the wiring, I mean, you can really be creative with this thing if you wanted to. Obviously, I mean, maybe could have done a little bit better. I could have used 90-degree SATA cables for up there. Just things that things that I can work on, and we'll see what time brings. So, one great thing about this case is you can bottom mount the power supply, or you can put it in the top. If you look over here, you can add water cooling through there, or you can actually take that plate off and you can put the power supply in there. However, you have to remove that fan, the top exhaust fan. So, I mean, there's a trade-off. So, I personally would rather have it down here. For one, I think it's more out of the way down here, and also I have this grating below, so its intake is from actually underneath the computer case. Disadvantage to that is if you're on like a really shaggy carpet, I mean, you're gonna be sucking up pet hair and things like that, so it might not be good for everyone. I added the wheels that came with the case, just kind of give it the extra height up off the ground. But so far, I really can't complain. I haven't had any problems. It comes in from the bottom, and it exhausts right out the rear. So it's, it does its job, and it did. I can't complain really. All right. Next up is my sound card. It is a Sound Blaster X-Fi Fatality Edition, and what to say about that? Boy, that's it's well worth the $150 that I paid for it. I mean, it's amplified everything, and I couldn't be happier with it. It's definitely one of those components that you get what you pay for, and believe me, it's well worth it. It's really neat too. The X-Fi here lights up, so at night when you have the case on, you see the X-Fi glowing right through your case and stuff. It's pretty neat. So next is my video card. It's a XFX Radeon 4850. It's not your typical Radeon card. XFX came out with this last year, and they actually put a complete plastic housing on it, kind of like what they did what they do with NVIDIA cards. So it was pretty neat. It was a pretty good change for a Radeon card. It only takes a single PCI Express 6-pin connector to power it, and it's been great ever since that I've had it. It powers pretty much everything I have at max settings, obviously other than Crysis, but that's pretty much the only game that I have that I can think of that I can't max out. So for good job ATI on this card. Alright, now we'll go next to the memory. The RAM is G.Skill DDR2 800. There's 8 gigs there. There are 4 2 gig sticks. A lot of people say that it's not good to have all 4 slots used because it kind of limits your overclocking potential. And which is true because some of the overclocking I've done, I've noticed that I can't go any further because of my RAM. So, I mean, there's a trade-off. You get more RAM and less of an overclock, or, you know, less RAM and you can overclock a little bit more. Will you see a difference? Probably not. So, you know, go with what you want to do, and, you know, you'll be happy. Alright, next is the heatsink. The heatsink is a Arctic Freezer Pro 7. It's got a 92mm fan that mounts on it, and for what it is, you know, it's not one of those big monsters that you know, it has 120mm fans on them, and it's, you know, protruding whatever, you know, what is it? Probably 2-3 inches higher than what this is. It actually performs extremely well. So, to all of you out there that get these giant monsters and things like that, it's just, it really, I don't know, it's not, don't be, you know, don't be steered away from it just because it's a smaller heatsink. It's, you know, this is the heatsink that could. It really performs. My idle temperatures at 3.2 on a Q6600 is about between 21 to 23. In the summer, it jumps to maybe 26 to 28. Max temps on Prime 95 with the 3.2 overclock, I think it stopped at around like 63, 62 degrees. So it's not bad at all, really not that bad. I've had it at 3.6. The max temp was 68. That was stable for 24/7. So it's you know, it really performs, and it really does a good job. All right. Next, we'll go over the fans. The top fan is an exhaust. It's a 230mm fan. So it exhausts from, right out the top. It draws some heat and whatever's left over kind of circulating in the case from the heatsink. And then right in the back here, it's got a 140mm exhaust fan. So that draws the all the heat from your heatsink. Then we'll come over here to the front. You have another 230mm fan. This one, however, has a red LED in it, which I don't really care for. Cooler Master actually on their site sells 200mm fans now, which are compatible with this case. So you can take out all of these fans and you can replace them with the 200mm ones. And I believe they have red LED and blue LED ones. So if you don't like the red, swap it out for a blue. Alright, next is the hard drive bays. Now these are awesome too. As you can see here, I got 2 hard drives. The top one there is a Western Digital Caviar Black 500 gig. That's a very, very, very fast drive for a 7200 RPM hard drive. It really performs. Right below it is the Western Digital Caviar Black 1 terabyte. And that, again, that is another one. The whole Western Digital Caviar Black series is just, they're huge performance drives. Noise-wise, they're not that bad. You do hear the occasional clicking and, you know, normal hard drive sounds, but it's not bad at all. Alright, next, you can kind of see down below here, there are some of my wires that were hidden, that's kind of left over from the power supply and some of the SATA cables and power connectors from back behind the hard drives. So, all in all, cable management, I mean, you can be extremely creative with this, like I said. You know, the sky is the limit. So, you know, if you get this case, you'll have a blast putting it together, and you know, really taking your time, and you can really hide all these wires, get everything, you know, nice and neat for your case. Helps optimize airflow. And oh yeah, that's right. I also added here a blue LED 120 millimeter fan. This blows across the memory and helps push some cooler air from outside the case, because it draws from the front bays here, which are all grated. Helps draw some cooler air from there, blowing across the RAM and helping the heatsink out a little bit. So, alright guys, next I will show you some cleaning of the case. Alright, so thanks for watching.